Shalom, shalom, or should I say, Shabbat shalom lechol Yisrael, Yochanan ben Yisrael. If you're on my page, of course, you know who it is. I cannot get this thing to come into focus. All right, there we go. All right, so what this is going to cover is a breakdown of Lamentations, chapter 2, verse 9. Shalom, shalom, shalim, shalim. So, I know you're wondering, why is this guy looking at English? Well, this is the KJV. One of our dear brothers said that he gave an explanation of what Lamentations 2:9 meant, and it actually lined up with what the KJV said. We're going to read this, but then we're going to also go into the read, and we're going to see what it says there as well. So just so that you know, I've actually swiped my screen so I can't see any comments. So this is just so I can focus because it's already hard enough for me to see. So the KJV says, Lamentations chapter 2, verse 9 says, her gates are sunk into the ground. He hath destroyed and broken her bars. Her king and her princes are among the Gentiles. Take note here, the law is no more. Her prophets also find no vision from Yah. Okay, so to be noted, so that you know it's already understood. When you see words in the KJV, you see that are, you also see that more. When you see them italicized, it means that those words were not there. They added those words there to either flow with their thought or to flow with their scheme of things. So those words do not exist. Also, not to be biased, words are also italicized so that they will also make sense in English. But now let's get this out of the way and let's actually get into the read. Now, what I found beautiful about this, if I can push this up a little and actually get out of the light. Okay, Lamentations is actually, if I can get this to focus. Come on. Lamentations, this is actually poetic. I've got my notes with me as well, because I'm gonna be honest, I didn't spend a lot of time studying this, but this is actually extremely obvious when you get into the read. It's not hard to understand. It's not hard to follow. As far as what's going on, it's fairly straightforward and simple. So if you hear me stumbling over words, please forgive me. I'm not going to be speed reading or anything, but you are going to notice a poetic pattern to this. So we're going to read through it first, then we're going to come back and we're going to break it down. And yes, again, I have notes on hand as well, so that I make sure that the information that I'm saying is correct. But it's really, when you get it in English at the breakdown, it's really a beautiful thing. And I assure you that it's not saying that the law is no more. We can go ahead and state that as a fact right now. So if I can actually see it, because of course it's blurry. Okay, there we go. Still can hardly see it, but it is what it is. Tabu ba'aretz she'areha ibad le'shber bericheha malcha ve'eshreha ba'roim en Torah gam nebieha lo. Focus. Matzu Chazon Meyahui. Okay, so I'm not sure. I'm hoping that you picked up on the actual pattern of the words, showing this is poetry. We got that on the words. Now let's actually go through and break these down. The first word, tabu. Okay, so tabu means they did sing. The root of the word is tet beit ayin. It is a call, third person, feminine, perfect. Perfect meaning that the act has already been perfected. So we know that this isn't speaking about a future situation. That's speaking about something that happened right then. It has the sharut plural suffix at the end, meaning they did. So, and again, this tet beit ayin, it means to sink down, to settle down. So it's they did sink. Ba'aretz. The root for this word is the aleph resh zada. Well, we say zada, or some people say zade, so feet. It's in the final form. So that means earth or land. That's the root. The bait is the preposition. This means in or amongst, into. So they did sink into the earth. Well, what sank into the earth? Sha'areha. Slika. She'areha. She'areha. Okay, so the root for this is the shin ayin resh. Shin ayin resh. It's a masculine plural noun. This is it also possesses the sego, yod, he, chamatz, which is that third person feminine singular suffix. When you add this suffix, what it does is it makes the actual noun, the shin ayin resh, or shin ayin resh, it makes it plural. So it's a singular pronominal suffix, pronoun, as a suffix, but it makes the singular noun plural. All right, so that's her gates. So this is literally saying her gates sank into the earth. All right, no big surprise there. Let's keep it moving. Ibadwe Shaber. Ibadwe Shaber. All right. Ibadwe Shaber Bericheha. All right. So Ibad is meaning, it's the PO form, third person masculine singular PO form. It means to perish, vanish, or to be destroyed. So being this is a PO, it's an intensive form. So that's going to mean he has destroyed. It's perfect. He has destroyed. Ue Shabar. Okay, so this has the while. This is a while consecutive, not a while. Not the while conjunction. This is a while consecutive. Okay, so this is just tying into this is another act. The root is shin beit resh. Shin beit resh shabar. It means to break into pieces. This is also in the PO form. We know this by and so that you all know, we know this by the verb patterns. So just like this was PO, the ibad was PO. We know it because of the hirik and the Salika, my wife's going crazy. The hirik and the patah pattern. We see the same thing here. So these are POs. These are intensive. So this would mean and he, if I'm trying to remember without looking at the notes, and he shattered. So he destroyed and he shattered. He destroyed and shattered what? Bericheha. Okay, so bericheha, the root being beit resh, chet. It means to go through, flee, run away, chase. It is a masculine plural noun with the third person feminine singular possessive pronominal suffix meaning her. And again, it makes when you have that suffix, it makes the noun plural. So what does this mean? This means her gates, or excuse me, Salika, her bars. So he has, if I can get back, he has destroyed, focus for me, he has destroyed and shattered her bars. What has bars? What has gates? This is a fortified city. This isn't talking about a person. Israel is not the her in this. This is actually talking about a place. We'll keep on going because we're going to definitely bring out some more. So bear with me because there's some good stuff that's about to come up here soon. Malcha ve'sareha va'goim. Malcha. Okay. The root for this is mem lamed chaf. Well, be chaf sofi. And it has the patah. Or excuse me, wow, not patah, chamatz, hey, with the dagish suffix on the end. This is also meaning her. So the root itself, mem Lamed Chaf Sofit. If the hey wasn't there, it would be a Chaf Sofit. Means king. So this is her king. Sareha. This again has a while consecutive meaning and, the root being sar, sen resh. Again, that same feminine, possessive pronominal suffix meaning her, the segol, yod, he, chamatz. So it's and her chiefs or and her princes, depending on how you want to say it. Ba'roim. The root for goyim. Now this I have to look at my notes for, because this was a strange one. The root for goyim is gimel aleph he. Ra. It means to rise up, grow up, be exalted, in triumph. It's a noun, masculine, plural. It has the hirik mem, plural masculine suffix. It also has the bait preposition, again, meaning in or among or into. So we've got her king and her chiefs or princes. You would say are among or are in the nations. All right, ain. This was actually, a brother brought this up earlier today in trying to support that the law was done away with. Okay, the word ain actually is a negative particle. It can mean several things. It's not just no or not. In this instance, it doesn't mean either. It means without. Then we have that magical word, Torah. Torah. Anybody that's in that has ever read the Tanakh, or that says that they're Israel, they know that word, Torah. All right. So it's always seems that people take it to be synonymous with the law. That's actually not what it means here. Torah here actually means instructions. And if you go to a lexicon like I did with the BDB, which I will show you here right quick. All right. So the BDB says, so that you don't think I'm messing with you, if we could get this to focus. All right. Torah. So you see already it says direction, instruction, law. All right. So when you come down, you see the word instruction. This is giving categories for these, for what this means. Okay, we find Lamentations 2:9 under this number, and it says what? Divine instructions. All right, these instructions, this isn't the law. There's a whole nother section that deals with the law. On the next page, I didn't highlight any of it. But when you come over, you see, let's see, go up here. Law is a whole nother section dealing with the law when it's actually talking about the law. So this isn't talking about the laws of Moshe. It's talking about the instructions that the prophets received. That's what's being spoken of. So it doesn't even say that. And we're going to get to the rendering here in a second, so we can get to the conclusion of the matter. We can get to the end of this. If we can come back into focus, please. All right, Torah. Okay. Ram Nebaim. Lo, well, let's not skip. Gam, meaning it's an adverb. It's meaning like indeed or yea, even, things like that. But it's an adverb. All right. Nebeim. I'm sorry. Nebeha. Nebieha. This is the root word for nebieha is nun beit aleph. It means to prophesy. That's the verb form of it. This is a noun. It's a masculine noun. It also has, again, you see, as you see in poetic form, in this particular poetic line, you see the segol, yod, he, chmatz, meaning her, but it also makes the subject, the noun, plural. So her prophets. Lo, another negation, meaning no or not. Matzu. Matzu has a root of mem, zada, aleph. It means to find or obtain, or attain, excuse me. It's a verb called third person common, plural. It's in its perfect form. So with the sharuk at the end, the plural sharuk that we talked about earlier. It's they have attained. So pretty much they have not attained, or they have not received. They have not attained, or they have not received what? And I'm gonna give you all this English here in just a minute. Chazon, chazon, the root being he zayin, or I'm sorry, chet zayin he. It means to see, perceive, or prophesy. So for me, I put vision. Some people may render that as prophecy. So they have not received vision. They have not received the vision, or they have not received the prophecy. Meyahui from Yahweh. Okay, so let's look at what this says in English, because our dear brother said that pretty much he aligned with this, what the KJV said. Let's look at it one more time, because we about to pull something beautiful out of this, because this KJV is off. Her gates are sunk into the ground. He hath destroyed and broken her bars. Her king and her princes are among the Gentiles. The law is no more. Her prophets also find no vision from Yah. Okay, so this is not what it says. When you actually get into the English of this, and it's really sad that the KJV butchered that way, because we know that the laws of Yah are forever. That's what the book says. It tells you constantly, return to the covenant, return to Yah. Remember the laws of Moshe. What this actually says over in English, it says, her gates sank into the ground. He has destroyed and scattered her bars. Her kings and her chiefs are among the nations with no instruction. Indeed, her prophets have not attained a vision from Yahweh. That's what we have in English. So it doesn't say anything when people are going. First and foremost, it's talking about the land. Lamentations 2 is actually talking about the land. That's the her in there. I'm sorry, Magnus. Let me get my dog out of here. Go upstairs, buddy. Matter of fact, Lala told. Salika, I'm sorry about that. It does not say that the law is done away with. It's saying that the prophets are they don't have any instruction. That's what it's saying. They're not getting any it's saying that the kings and the chiefs are among the nation with no instructions. So it's not that the law is saying that, oh, the law is done away with. We've been scattered. The law is done. That's not what it says at all. I've given the Hebrew with this. I've compared it with the KJV version of this. The JPS does a better translation of it. The strong edition Tanakh does a better translation of it. I personally don't support any English translation. I feel that if we're Hebrews, we need to learn to read biblical Hebrew, which is what I'm working on now. So yeah, in this instance, what they're talking about with Lamentations 2:9, it has nothing to do with doing away with the law when you go into exile. It's pretty much saying that that they were away without the kings and their chiefs. The kings and the chiefs were in the nations without, or Salika, I'm sorry, I forgot. I am trying to let y'all see this. It pretty much says that, where's it at? Malcha we sareha vagoim en Torah. It says literally, her kings and her chief men or princes are among the nations without. Ain does not just mean no or don't, but without instructions. So when someone tells you that we are without Torah, or that the law is done away with, they are very way off. And I see that Yisrael Yudah just tuned in. Shalom, 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 everybody that's on. I'll run through this again. He can watch the whole video, but I'll run through this again, just this short section to show that what's in the KJV, what our dear brother says is in the KJV, is not what's in Hebrew, and the Masoretic text is the best attested Hebrew scriptures. So this is, you're talking about a text that goes all the way back into, this is just as old as the DSS. Matter of fact, it was found with the DSS, with the Dead Sea Scrolls, in about 225 BCE. And this is what we have. The Masoretes merely gave it the vowel points, gave the niquadot, so that the pronunciation, sound, phonology of the words will not be lost. So I'm going to run through this one more time. Malakah, I'm not going to do the whole thing, just this section, so that we can see that it does not say that the laws are done away with. Malakah o shareha, vagoim ein Torah. Her kings and her princes were among, are among the goyim, or among the nations, or among the Gentiles. Without, ain does not always mean no or don't. Without instruction. Torah does not always mean law, and we can go scholarly on that. And matter of fact, I already did it. Let me pull it up one more time so that we can show that one more time. What Torah, that word Torah means there. This is the Brown, Drivers, and Briggs Hebrew lexicon. Very well attested, very reputable. This is a scholarly source. So we see right here, Torah, and we see direction, instructions, law. Here for instructions, beside instruct, you see the first one is instruction. We come down, we find that Lamentations 2:9 is attested. So it's a divine instruction. That's what's being talked about. We see it's under the B column. The actual laws, when we go to the laws on the following page, we see this is not the same thing. Where is it at? Where was it at? Because I found it earlier. It's hard for me to see through this thing. Okay, number 2 up here, law. So now we see laws being listed and going into. So that word Torah has nothing to do with that. That's not what the book is telling you. The Most High would never say in the laws. Why? Because his word stands forever. It is forever. We are told constantly, remember the laws of Moshe. We're told constantly, look back to these laws, return to what I've commanded you. We hear that constantly. So as far as Lamentations 2:9, this is no disrespect, and it is not to spit on anyone or to degrade anyone that's on this call. I know it's been a very interesting week, and I know I've been a part of the melee as far as the whole Shabbat situation. In all honesty, I tried to leave people alone. When it came to that, when they posted things on their wall, I wouldn't post anything on there. Matter of fact, I wouldn't even post subliminals to them. What I would do, however, is at some point, if it crossed my mind, I would see somebody with a post that has the same view as me. I might share it. Every once in a while, I would make a post about it because people were genuinely attacking me about it. I try not to go into that. Matter of fact, I was talking to my brother Pinkney earlier today. And me and him both, we don't want to attack. I don't want to attack anybody, but especially the people that are in the that say that they are Tanakh only. I don't want to attack you, brothers and sisters. That's really not my thing. Because one thing that I've always admired, even when I was in the New Testament, was how I saw the brothers and the sisters who were just in the Tanakh only, how I saw them deal with altercations, and it generally was neater than when I saw the people who were in the New Testament doing it. I always thought it was neater. It was handled more professionally. I have a lot of brothers and sisters that we don't share the same view, but we do share the same Yah, and we're striving for the same goal. We're not putting anybody else in the place of Yah. We're not praising anybody else but Yah. We do not bend our knee to JC, and that's no disrespect to that's still no disrespect to anybody that does. I don't agree with it though. That's just the way that it goes. I still love you, brothers, and I love you, sisters. I feel like with more study, because I was once in the New Testament, more study will come out. But I honestly also feel like this new doctrine of not keeping the law is Christianity, because that's what you're told in the New Testament. You know, you're told that the laws are done away with. You're told that you don't do these things anymore. Now, can I say we keep feast in this land? No. Observe, yes. Keep the practice. Don't forget. We're constantly told in the scriptures, remember this law, teach it to your children. Told that over and over and over again. So to say, okay, yeah, we're in the land. We can't make any sacrifices here. We can't celebrate the fact that Yah did bring bring the children of Israel, excuse me, out of the bondage of Egypt. We can celebrate that. That is something to celebrate, that he got us over, and that is something to give praise and thanks about. No, we can't sacrifice a lamb. Can we kill a lamb and eat it? Absolutely. Why can't we? The practice, he said, don't forget, teach it to your children. So those are my personal views. Honestly, if you ever noticed before here lately, I never got into these things. I never even talked about the Shabbat and this, that, and other. I never really did that because I did feel like it was a divisive conversation. And I also felt like, and especially when I found out there were people in Tanakh saying, literally, I mean, a brother literally said, you don't keep Torah. Like, you aren't supposed to keep Torah. Well, when I asked for verses saying that, the Torah, show me where it says it's done away with, no verses can be posted. None. So when it says in Exodus 20, verse 8, I bring up that word, Zakor, Shalom, Shalom, Aki, Shabbat, Shalom. When I see that word Zakor, it says to remember. My brother J.G. Pill, he pointed out that that's an infinitive absolute. It doesn't give regard to time or, and having an ending or anything like that. It says remember. I don't understand what's so difficult about remembering the Shabbat day. There's nothing unlawful about remembering the Shabbat day. No, we aren't going to make sacrifices or anything like that. But yeah, remembering the Shabbat day, that's not unlawful. And be honest, be completely honest, I'm not bashing anybody else who says that, oh yeah, we can't keep it. That's between you and the Most High. You know what I'm saying? That's between you and him. But don't bash me for saying that I am going to remember it. Don't bash me for those things. Because in all honesty, it really doesn't matter to me what you do. Just like it doesn't. I remember I used to teach on the conference calls too. I don't do it no more. Why don't I do it anymore? Because I took the time to learn the language. And when I started learning the language, I realized there were a whole lot of things that I did not know. There were a whole lot of things I did not know. And there were a whole lot of things that I taught that were not right. And may the Most High be merciful on me for even pushing those things. And for not being humble enough at that time to say, you know what, before I even get on this conference call teaching this, let me lean back and let me do more research. So may the Most High be merciful for me, because I didn't want to, it was never my intention to lead anybody astray. So this doctrine that the people are pushing, I pray that the Most High is merciful to you, because what you're pushing is not in the book. So to say, okay, speculation and see, well, right here, it says one thing. Does it tell you not to do it anymore? That's what we need to see. If that's not there, then in all honesty, you're pretty much gambling. You're hoping that, you're pretty much hoping that you're right. Now, I know that my intentions are good, and I know that he said, do these things forever. If my intentions are good, just like with Hezekiah, he looked down when Hezekiah, when they restored the temple, and he brought the northern tribe back. They sent out letters or sent out messengers saying, go into the northern kingdoms and bring these and pretty much tell all the northern tribes to come back, humble yourselves and come back for Pesach. When they came back, they had not properly sanctified themselves. They hadn't done what they were supposed to do. But Hezekiah said, when he prayed, he said, in so many words, look upon their intentions, look upon their hearts, because they're here. Be merciful. No, they haven't done what they were supposed to do, but be merciful. And you know what the Most High said? He said that he was going to do it. He hearkened unto Hezekiah because their intentions were good. What are your intentions? So I had a sister tell me, oh, intentions mean nothing. Your intentions mean nothing. Well, you can't say that to Hezekiah, because for Hezekiah, intentions meant a whole lot. They meant a whole lot. So the Most High, he's going to read your heart. Not one of those, the pseudo, well, the Lord knows my heart. Not one of those. And you still out here doing wrong. When you're out here trying your best, you're striving and you're seeking the face of the Most High. He does know your heart, and he will be merciful to you. We serve a merciful power. We don't serve a just complete ruthless killer that wants to see us fail. We serve a power that wants to see us succeed. We serve a power that loves us, that said, I've set you apart from all other nations, took you onto Mount Sinai, gave you laws, statutes, and commandments that are your wisdom. That's what he said. It's your wisdom. If you aren't following, if you're saying this is done away with, where is your wisdom? You've completely separated yourself from the creator of all things. Now, I mean, me personally, I don't like subscribe to a he. I subscribe more so to it that causes to exist. I don't bring him down to being a mere being. This is whatever force it is that causes these things to move, whatever it is that causes the sun to rise in the morning, whatever it is that causes the sun to set, whatever it is that causes the moon to go from being full to being dark, whatever power that is that caused that, that's the power that I serve. The same power that feeds all the animals, the same power that put shelters over our heads and blessed us to be in good health, hopefully, and gave us another breath, that's been merciful to us. That's the power that we serve. So, I mean, you do what you will. If you say that we can't keep the laws, cool, that's fine. Don't knock me when I say I'm going to keep the laws. I'm going to follow the laws. Any law that I can follow, I'm going to do it. And I pray that the Most High looks down on me with mercy and with pity when I cry out and tell him these are my efforts, and when I cry out and I repent for the things that my forefathers did as we're commanded to do. So I'm not going to hold y'all much longer. You know, this has been a fun video. I'm going to run through it one more time, just one more time, so that we can see exactly what it says, because I don't want anybody to say that they missed it. Malaka we Sharia, Varoim ein Torah. Her kings, or her king, and her chiefs or princes are among the nations, Goyim or Gentiles, without instruction. So with that being said, it's nothing but love for all of you. May the Most High bless you and keep you. Shabbat Shalom L'chol.